Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Scarface in the building. In this video, I want to talk about a story about a woman who had tried to drain my seed earlier this year. So at the start of 2022, I was in the islands or whatever, and yeah, shit. Full disclosure, I just got out of a relationship. Then I was like, you know what? We ain't in a relationship no more. What the fuck am I doing here? I packed my bags, hopped on a flight. So yeah, I want to talk about, so essentially one night I had made friends in the place or whatever, but one night I was just like, you know what, I want to go out by myself. I don't want to do logistics with meeting people and stuff like that. I just want to go out. So I just went out by myself. I went to like sort of a bar I'd been to before, and I was just seated around the back on my phone, playing music, just chilling. 5-10 minutes pass and some guys come in and they were like, hey, they were basically just trying to sit with me, you know, they were feeling the vibe or whatever. And then I read their energy and I was like, yeah, cool, man, have a seat. 3 of them ended up being travelers on holiday from the UK. And guys, I have I can code switch very, very well to various different accents, and I have a pretty crisp American accent. So just because I was a bit wary, I put on an American accent, just so it's not like, oh, you're from England too, blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't want none of that bullshit. So I just put on my American accent, I was speaking with these guys, and I was like, yeah, these guys are cool. And they were like, hey, we're about to go to the restaurant over there, which wasn't too far. I was on the strip, so they're about to go to the restaurant. We got some girls coming over, blah, 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 blah. You want to come with? And then I was like, yeah, of course, like, yeah, no doubt. Go outside. These guys had a rented Jeep, and I was just like, oh wow, these guys are official. All right, cool. So I'm rolling with these guys now. Go to the restaurant. The girls were there, like in a group, and there was a lot of international girls. So as I walk in, one of the girls who was sort of closest to us, kind of like away from the other girls seated, she was just standing there. I just introduced myself to her. We got to talking, and immediately I knew this girl liked me. Guys, you should never have to ask yourself, does this girl like me? If you have to ask yourself, does this girl like me? Does she have a crush on me? Does she like me? She doesn't. Because if a girl likes you, she'll let it be known. And I don't know what it was, like, you could just feel it. So this girl, I knew that she liked me, and me personally, I don't really like a girl who's too pushy. I like to be like the main person pursuing. So she was a bit too pushy for me, but she was extremely attractive. So I kind of bypassed maybe something that I shouldn't have. So yeah, she was like that. We were talking, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, even the guys that were with me, they were like, bro, she wants you bad. Like, bro, you should smash, blah, blah, blah. These guys were like, guys who never practice semen retention, of course. They just came on holiday to fuck the foreign hoes. That's why I said don't travel until you practice. Master semen retention, otherwise you'll be like that. They were just fucking, taking drugs, by the way. Those guys were taking coke, taking all this, taking all that. Fucking. But yeah, aside from the point, so yeah, I gave her my contact, blah, blah, blah. And even another girl that was there, she actually asked me, she approached me, and she was attractive as well. Was she as attractive as, I don't know. But she approached me, I gave her my number or whatever as well. But she was a good girl, that one. But the one that I was talking to, and the one that this video is about, I was getting an air of promiscuity from her. Guys, I don't know how to explain, but you could just meet a woman, sometimes you just know that this woman slept with a lot of men, this is a promiscuous woman. So those were the vibes that she was giving me, those are the vibes that I was getting. And sometimes people see a solo traveler, especially when they learn that I was already in the country for like 3 weeks. So it was like, wow, this is not like a 1 week work, like he's here, like type shit. So foreign girls, like they're very, very aware. They're very, very, especially when you go outside of the West as well, people are more spiritual as well, they're more tapped in, you'll notice that. So yeah, that particular woman, so I thought nothing of it. I didn't really pay too much attention. Again, I was retaining, I was like 50, 60 days deep. So it was like, I wasn't really too far. These are, oh, you should smash her today. Those guys, you should smash. And I was like, bro, can't, like, if I want to smash, I'm gonna smash. Like, why? Guys, that's why I try to stay away from guys who are releasing constantly, man. But yeah, so I went home, I didn't really think much of it. I went home, slept. Guys, I have a wet dream. It wasn't a wet dream, but it was a sexual dream of this girl trying to drain me of my seed in that dream. She was trying to drain me of my seed in that dream. So she was giving me head or whatever. And because I was already used to battling, that whole trip I was battling sexual dreams because it was full of temptation. So I was battling. So essentially I diffused the wet dream. I didn't release. I woke up and I was like, wow, I had a sexual dream. In fact, I wrote it down. It's probably still in the fucking archive somewhere. So yeah, and I was like, okay, that was strange. I think we exchanged a few messages back and forth, maybe like 1 or 2. And then I just left it. I didn't care. I was retaining. I said I was retaining because eventually on that trip I actually lost my fucking seed at 66 days in. But aside from the point, at that time I was still retaining, and she basically 2 weeks passed. She messages me. She hits me up with, hey, she's got some stuff going on at home. She wants to learn how to fight. She wants to learn how to defend herself. She knew obviously I went to the gym. Then I introduced, oh yeah, I know some martial arts. I could teach some basics. Long story short, she came over to the guest house. We had a rooftop at the time. It was completely private. She came over, and I was just teaching her some martial arts basics. I was teaching her some form. And guys, I'm not stupid. I knew she wanted to smash. I knew what type of woman she was. But at that time, I still was developing in terms of I hadn't fully conquered and mastered lust. In terms of I hadn't mastered semen retention. I was still battling with, and I was battling in a very difficult battling ground. I'm broad, it's hot, and when you're in a hot environment, everyone can attest, it's highly sexualized, again, everyone wants to fuck, it's hot, it's sweaty, people are horny, that's just how it is, isn't it? So I was definitely feeling that as well. So yeah, we're abroad now, so I was teaching her, and I knew she wanted to fuck, but we got to talking, and she turns out to be, I think she was 21 or 22, she turns out to be a very, very spiritual person. She taught me a few things spiritually, and I was like, wow. That was kind of deep, wow, how does she kind of know that? And she was even divorced, so she was married to, so she had been around older men, and like I said, she was married, divorced, and I could tell that she had slept with a whole bunch of women, with a whole bunch of men, and she wasn't even shy to, she was asking me, one time she was asking me, when was the last time you had sex, blah, blah, blah. But that day, I didn't have sex with her, because guys, I'm not in a rush for these things. I'm past that stage. When I was 18, 19, 20, 21, even 22, I might have just been yeah, I was just unfucking, you guys know how it goes. You just want to fuck, you just fuck. But I moved past that stage, so I wasn't in a rush for anything. And I knew she wanted to fuck, so I didn't want it that bad. I didn't have to do anything. So maybe I flaked on her a couple of times, and then one time I was like, yeah, come over, whatever. She came over, and then I was like, you know what? Did we even train? She came to the room straight. I can't even remember, guys, honestly. But yeah, so we ended up having a sexual experience. But because of the dream that I had, I didn't really trust her so much. Because it's very strange. The other girl that I met that night, we had spoken and stuff. In fact, she had even come over, but I didn't have a sexual dream with her, so I wasn't worried about it. But if a girl, it's kind of like God sending you a warning. You can get warned in dreams. So I was and this girl was trying to make me release my dreams. And it's exactly what she was trying to do in real life. Guys, this girl was begging me to go raw because the condom wasn't working, and she was just begging me to go raw. And I was just like, I'm not going raw. She even told me she was pregnant or something like that. She goes, guys, I don't know what kind of demon this was, but I just didn't trust her. I probably shouldn't have been in that situation, but at the same time, I was blinded by her looks, and sometimes that's how she's going to show up. She's going to show up exactly how you want her to show up. So she was extremely attractive, and I kind of let my desires get the better of me by even just entertaining her in my room. She shouldn't have been in my room. And yeah, long story short, we ended up having a failed sexual experience. I didn't release. Of course not. I just wasn't feeling it. I just pulled up my pants. I was like, you know what, we ain't doing this. Fuck this. And yeah, that didn't stop her from sort of pursuing me. She still wanted my attention. She still wanted my time. She was talking about going on dates. And I just knew what she was. And I was so intrigued by her that afterwards I kept contact with her. I didn't completely eliminate her. Till this day, guys, she's still begging me. She's still asking me when are you coming back? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, blah, blah. I'm not going back to that place. I thought I was gonna go back this year, but I'm not going back this year. So maybe next year. But yeah, that's my story with this girl. She was trying to drain me of my seed. She was giving me head. She was trying to make me release. Who knows what she would want to do with my seed? I'm just grateful. So guys, I say all of that to say this: be careful when you're traveling, and be careful of women, because I made a video as well. Nobody knows you're on semen retention. I'm just talking about average women. If I go outside now, walk on the street, and look a woman in her eye, she's not going to be like, this man is retaining the seed. She might think something of me. Whatever she thinks of me is obviously something that's manifested internally. But there are generally two types of women. In fact, I didn't even mention, this woman even spoke about semen retention to me. This was way after I'd left the country, but she was speaking to me on the phone one time. She was talking about semen retention. She was talking about, yeah, there's this guy who holds a seed. Guys, when a woman is extremely spiritual, she's either one of two things: good or bad. So you should know whether she's a righteous, virtuous woman, or she's just a woman trying to drain your energy, drain your seed. drain your time, drain your money, drain your resources. And if she's spiritual as well, then she knows the deeper aspect of that. She was trying to connect with me sexually and form some kind of attachment. And I even have a worse experience, even in my hometown in England, of a girl who tried to, oh my goodness, maybe I'll tell that story in another video. But this girl, yeah, she's still there, and yeah, she was just trying to drain me of my energy. Later found out that pregnancy was a hoax. Apparently she was lying about, guys, she was just all over the place. Never met a woman like her.